We're giving Black Earth Grills a run for its money. We're gonna load up that 650 square inches of grill space with 1 whole spatchcock chicken, 2 pork shoulders, and 3 racks of ribs. Let this thing rip all day. Set my grill to about 250 degrees. I let this thing rip for about an hour and a half. Just pulled the chicken off. It's got some great color and smoke flavor coming on. The ribs got at least a couple more hours, and then I'm gonna let that pork shoulder go for probably about 10 or so hours. Who needs side dishes or a plate or a chair or tables when you've got a whole smoked chicken just chilling in front of you? We are about 3 hours into this smoke session, and I'm very happy with where we're at so far. We're starting to get some color and some bark onto that pork shoulder and the ribs. As you can see, I put a little tray right in the middle, threw some water in it. That's gonna create a little extra steam into my smoker. I do that because I'm in Colorado where it's really dry. So if it's dry where you're at, it's a great idea. Just throw some water in there and just let things steam up a bit, just to keep the meat from drying out. These removable cutting board side tables are probably one of my favorite things about this grill. It makes it so easy to move food back and forth from the kitchen to the grill. All right, I've had these ribs on for about 4 or 5 hours now. I'm gonna take them off the grill. Let's bring them inside and see what they look like. Oh, look at that. Here, let me zoom in a little bit so you can see. Oh yeah. So one thing I want to mention, and I don't know if this goes with every pellet smoker, because this is the first pellet smoker that I've done, but I've noticed with this Black Earth grill, try and leave the lid shut. If you can leave that lid shut, it will maintain temperature fantastically. Really, really well, in fact. But I noticed every time I went in to lift the lid and move meat around, do things like that, if I had the lid open for anything longer than 10, 15, 20 seconds, what happens is there's a temperature probe in there. So when the temperature drops below the setting that you have it set at, it starts feeding more pellets into that hopper. And so while that lid's open, it's just feeding more pellets and more pellets and more pellets at a faster rate to try and bring the temperature back up. So then you shut the lid, there's a bunch of pellets in there, those catch fire pretty good, and you end up with a little bit of a raging fire in there. It brings your temperature up, and it takes it about another 15 minutes or so for it to slow down and catch back up and get dropped back down. Like I noticed at times it would kick over 350 degrees. After having the lid open for a little while, I'd shut it, it'd kick up to 350 and take about 15-20 minutes for that temperature to come back down to the 250 setting that I had it at. So definitely a tip, and again, this might be every pellet smoker, but just leave that lid shut. It's really helpful if you have a like a Bluetooth probe thermometer that you can monitor your internal temperatures from without having to lift the lid and check. Yesterday I had a brisket on there for 12 hours, and so I had it running all day. This morning I woke up, fired it up again, threw the chicken, the ribs, and the pork shoulder on there, and have had those on for the last 5 hours. I'm actually getting ready to wrap the pork shoulders in foil and let those continue to go until they're done. They'll probably take another 5 or 6 hours. So my overall impression of the Black Earth Grill is I'm very, very impressed. The first time I used it, it was about 23 degrees outside, and I noticed that it was burning through pellets pretty quick because the temperature was dropping real fast. The last couple days, it hasn't been that cold, and so it's not burning through pellets at the rate that it was the first time I used it. So very pleased with that. If you're looking for a really simple set it and forget it pellet smoker, you really can't go wrong with the Black Earth. You don't need a separate gas grill. It's a combination gas grill and pellet smoker. And so you can just smoke, you can just grill, or you can turn on both. A lot of times I'll throw a steak on there. I'll get the grill nice and hot, and then a little bit before I'll kick those pellets on and throw the steak down, and I just impart just a little bit of smoke flavor. It's really, really cool feature to be able to have that. I did want to mention that I'm not being paid to say any of this. That's just my opinion of the grill. It's a great smoker, it's a great grill. It does both at the same time or separately if you want. Now that I've pulled several fantastic items off the smoker over the course of this weekend, I can't wait to start playing and do some crazy fun stuff with it.